Welcome, race fans, here to Daytona International Speedway. We have a great race in store for you. Of course, a little late to the draw here as we got some tech issues trying to sort out. We'll see here in a little bit if Brandon Kreutz can join us. But we do have Wesley in the booth. We'll talk to him in just a minute. Before we get into qualifying, we need to thank a few people for making all of this possible. Of course, Hilton Designs, Ohio, and Indiana Roofing, Mission 22, and of course Line Creek Brewing Company for coming on board here for this season. And this race in particular is brought to you by King of the Minutes podcast. Make sure you check them out as well. That being said, Wesley, we're here at Daytona. It's a very iconic track. Whether you're a dirt racer, road racer, or NASCAR racer, I think you know of this track.
Just like Monaco in Grand Prix Formula One, just like Indianapolis to Indy cars. When you think of the world Daytona, Daytona is synonymous to stock cars and the motorsports realm of history since the 50s. We are live virtual style tonight for this event on LSR TV. 250 miles, 100 laps around a 2.5 mile facility that is bad, fast, great racing. There'll be a lot of pack, a lot of entertainments, but the question will be when and if, not if, when will the big one happen? Will everybody play nice, or will we get scattered, smothered, and covered immediately? We'll have the coverage tonight.
Yeah, I definitely we're going to see the big one. We already found out from race control prior to this. We were down in the holler with them. There are no fast repairs, so you wreck it out, you're done for the night. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in the pits for quite some time. And I've already seen these drivers doing some practice in groups. We'll see if that plays out for them. Helps them out a little bit later on in tonight. But of course, right now, practice is over. Qualifying is beginning to happen here right about there. It is. The qualifying underway is, or time trials as I like to refer to it as. 5 minutes on the clock. Wesley, that's not a lot of time for this massive 2.5 mile track. You got to get out and go now.
Yeah, when you come roaring off of pit road, you better be at max speed and ready to take that green flag and put the best lap you can down on the clock. And I think we're going to see that. We've already took away 30 seconds of time as qualifying's on the speedway now. The number 47, Ray Radford, the first man to be the guinea pig, so to speak, and hit the high banks of the World Center of Racing up between turns number 1 and 2. And I noticed they got that blend line. They've got that follow line. They have to wait until, whoa, hold on there. Maybe he was thinking better of it. I thought he was getting ready to hit the track and qualify, but I think he's going to do a reset and not take time. So something amiss on Ray Radford's car.
Yeah, he definitely is. And not sure how familiar you are with the racing side of things here on the asphalt, but they do have that blue cone in here, and
Yes,
you can
yes.
not come onto the track until you get past that blue cone, or you will get a black flag, and that is not a good thing. Maybe at a short track, black flag, it's not good. Here, it is horrible. You get a black flag, not only are you going to go a lap down, you're going to lose the draft. You're probably going to go multiple laps down before it's all said and done. So definitely not what these drivers want to see coming out of the pits, and getting into the pits is just as tricky.
As you notice again, and that's why I use that word, the blend line. I guess that's our broadcast terminology for NASCAR events that I work in reality. But the blend line, the double yellow line, you have to wait till you blend up on the back straightaway, and then you're allowed to have your cars. As you watch the upper right of the monitor, the cars now making their way to the track. You're watching John Hoggard in the number 20 machine. He's the first car to per se take speed. He looks like he's going to make something happen with this. As we also have seen the driver of Osmond take time. And Osmond right now goes to the top of the board with 1 minute 2 seconds, 102.49. I know they're going to have to pick it up. John Hoggard has now went to fast qualifier. Can I say it in real reality on the sim world? Quick time, 46.95 for now. Eric Blunt, as Hoggard just got bumped. Eric Blunt goes to the top spot there, Cody.
Yeah, and just like that, he's going to get pinged down a spot by Dustin Ping with a 46.89, and that's going to get topped again by Osman. And, I'm wondering here, we saw some of those cars down low on the track coming out together. This is open qualifying. So how many of these guys are going to go out as teammates and try to draft a little bit here in qualifying?
Yeah, that's the question. Who's going to be your teammates? Who's going to be your comrades, and the ones that's going to help you out with tandem drafting and helping you get to speed and allow you to put that quick lap down? And then the question is, as it gets down to the end of this 100-lap feature, who's going to turn on their partner? Who's going to say, "Hey, man, you're on your own. It's every man for himself whenever they come to the win." And this is a new series with this Race X Next Gen Challenge Series, and only fitting right out of the gate to run it here at the World Center of Racing at Daytona as we watch a couple of Chevrolets and Fords battle with each other across the start-finish line here. 4 and 08 crossing the line. Matthew McMeekin, I want to say I got his name right. Matthew McMeekin going now to the top spot now in qualifying, and he turns a 45.96 second lap on the racetrack. And also the number 4 there, we also had the other car that was alongside him taking time and qualifying, going quickly, Alan Pargy on the racetrack. And now we watch Tom Quattlebaum Jr. on the speedway in the 08 taking time now, Cody.
Yeah, we did. And, I talked to Tyler earlier, the guy putting all this together. I told him, I said, I'm glad I'm not behind the mic. I didn't plan on being behind the mic today because I'm going to have fun with Tom Quattlebaum Jr. That name is just a name I'm going to have fun with tonight. I'm sorry.
One of those hockey player names that you got to kind of get used to with this now. Alan Pajeri has now went to the top spot. Say that one. Chris Wood now bumps Pajeri in the numbered 5 car. Chris Wood to the pole, 45.360 seconds, as now Wood will go to the top spot, and they're falling like dominoes as fast as they hit the track. Time flying by, and by the way, less than 10 seconds to go in qualifying. This is where you're making it count, Cody.
Yeah, and I am really shocked here. Only 11 drivers have taken time.
That's right.
We knew your qualifying isn't that important as far as where you start, because you can go from the back to the front in a hurry. But I want that good real estate when it comes to, pit stop. I want to be able to be up front, mainly so that I can hit the gas and go and not really have to worry about a speeding penalty. So to start that deep in the field, and this many of them starting that deep in the field, really kind of baffles me. I would want to get out there and get a time in.
Coming across the line. Looks like we need to have our cameraman clean that camera off a little bit. But it's amazing, though, that shot that we just saw. For the longest time, when I go and work down at Daytona, there's a Hampton Inn, not trying to plug any other businesses, but there's a Hampton Inn across the way where the hotels are. And literally, from that shot of that camera, that speed shot from turn 4 to the tri-oval, Cody, it looks just like the real thing. Like, that's looking like just outside turn 4. Where the scenery is. Just phenomenal work that iRacing Simulations have done to make this look so reality. Really.
Yeah, definitely is.
He's up in that flag stand now.
He is waving that checker flag as we move on to, and we do apologize for the cameraman out there, as we have not.
Is it going to be a night race? I think we just went from daylight to nighttime. It looks like.
Yeah, somebody forgot to pay the light bills. Yes, this is a day-to-night transition, and here in iRacing, they have the ability to simulate that you can go 2, 4, 6 times the speed. So while the race won't take as long as a real NASCAR race, however, the day-to-night transition will simulate it. So yes, this race will go into night racing. We'll see those lights come on here in a minute, but what we're seeing here at the moment is, of course, going to be your starting grid. As soon as a few more drivers get on there, we got a bald guy sitting right in front of our camera.
Hey, buddy, sit down.
that just chaps me every time we are at a real racetrack and somebody gets right in front of the camera. Now it's happening virtually.
Yes.
What are the odds?
About to say, I think it's Barney's friend. On the flag stand for
I
sure.
think it is.
We're
We'll
ready to,
see.
we're going to see what happens here for sure. He's excited in the virtual world. We're ready here at Daytona International Speedway. The field is getting assembled behind a big, bad iRacing pace truck. And let's give you your starting lineup. 45.360 seconds was the fast time. The driver from Georgia, Chris Woods, on the pole. Alan Pajeri from Texas. He will make up row number 1.
And row 2 going to be Matthew McKeon again. Hopefully that is right. Meekin there. John Wimbrish.
McMeekin, I'm thinking.
I think that is correct. Again, we apologize. We will get these names correct here.
All right, I'll help you out for this one. Of the 08, Tom Quattlebaum Jr. from the Peach State, Georgia. Eric Blunt from the Mid-South of the 6. He'll make up row 3.
In row 4 and 7 and 8, going to be Dave Worrell and Dale Osborne, followed by Dustin Ping and John Hoggard in 9th and 10th. Who do we have in 11th there, Wesley?
Steve Carey from New York, 21. Roy Hyde from Michigan of the 00. And our thoughts and prayers are with those states definitely dealing with this pandemic.
Well, definitely is. Travis Smith going to be in 13th place. Brian Littleton going to be in the 14th place. A good field here tonight. 31 drivers, by the way. 15th going to be Troy Radford. Sorry, we're getting the letters mixed up here. And in 16th is going to be Steve Baker. 17th, Dustin German. And 18th going to be Brian Miskell Jr., followed by Race Control. It's in 19th. Don't think they're going to be racing here tonight. And Cade Green in 20th, Wesley.
And let's take them home to the rest of the lineup here for Daytona's event. Kendall Leverin in the 21st position of the 8 car. Damon Cox in 57 and 22nd position. Moving on to row number 12, it's Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01. Josh Cottle in the 24th position in car number 9. Final rundown. Chris Medford at 84. Doug Wasaki from Michigan in the 26th position. Row number 13, 14, my bad, is going to be Brian Medford from Indiana, the 83, followed by Brian Snare, the Virginia car, 43. And the final starters were side by side for row 15. Cody Terry from Carolina in the 22. And then you've got Ray Radford in the 47 from Pennsylvania, and somebody named Race from Ohio in the 3 car. So there we go.
That is glitching out our overlays there. That is actually race control number 2. They are in here as drivers. They will not be attending the race. As we'll see. I do see a turn 3 broadcasting car out there in the number 25. As those guys do some good work as well. The green flag's out, and we are racing lap number 1. We'll go ahead and get your pylon on the side. 29 drivers with race control not racing here tonight. We'll see. I expect to see these guys go 2 wide. The question is, Wesley, when and if will we see them go 3 wide here tonight?
I think they'll play nice at first. They make their way to the back straightaway. 1 car going below the yellow line for the time being. But meanwhile, the rest of the pack stays 2 by 2 by 2. Like Noah leading the animals to the ark, as my colleague from Dirt, Dustin Jarrett, says. Meanwhile, it's Wood breaking out of the pack. Single file to the lead. 2 by 2 for 4th, 5th on back as they come to the line for lap number 1.
Oh, we got contact. 1 going around.
1 going around. 1, 2, 3 cars spinning. And the matter of not 1 car going around, it's the calamity of everybody checking up from there as he just got plowed in from behind. And the caution is out on lap number 1. Wow.
Caution, and that started with the 60, I do believe, or that is the 80. My bad. Apparently, I can't read numbers. That was the 80 that got turned.
Brian Littleton started this crash. And I'm sure we're working up on an LSR TV replay of the calamity. And let's see what happened.
Right
Littleton got turned right in front of the 55 machine of Steve Baker. And from there on, it caused calamity. And we're under a quick caution on the first lap there, Cody.
Yes, a very quick caution there. And go back and take a look at this. There's the caution. Watch way back here. This is how little time you had to react. You don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what number this is. Right there, tries to slow down to 25. Nowhere to go. You can tell he locks the brakes up and just nails the 80 right in the back of that car. Even that far back, you don't know where cars are. They're scattered all over the track, and unfortunately, that can happen sometimes. Is that will bring out caution number one here on lap number 2.
A multi-car crash that started with 2 machines, led with many others with damage, with Brian Littleton spinning in front of Steve Baker. He got collected, and then several others involved, and very surprised. We're 3 laps in of 100, and pit road is open, and all the takers are coming to pit road, Cody.
They are indeed. There you see right there, your top 10 drivers not coming down. Everybody after that, they are opting to take tires and fuel, as we see at least tires. And that's the thing, tires really aren't going to be too big of an issue, I don't think, here tonight. They never really are at Daytona. However, if you went spinning around, you could have easily flat spotted those tires. So you're going to want some fresh Goodyears on your machine if those tires went anywhere but how they were supposed to go.
And you got that 95 on pit road. He's taking time and service on his car, along with the 00, the number 80 car. Brian Littleton caught up in that wreck. We'll see if he can come back out there on the racetrack. The 95 again onto pit road of Travis Smith. And he now rolls off of pit road. They're cycling through these pit stops under the yellow flag. 3 laps in of 100, a big multi-car crash. We saw those 2 cars that started it with Littleton and Steve Baker, and they're right now scored unofficially in 25th and 26th as we see more cars exiting off of pit road. But what we talked about in our introduction here on LSR TV for round 1 of the Race X Next Gen Challenge Series tonight from Daytona virtual style was Cody. It's not a matter of if, it's when. When it happens, it happened very early. I wouldn't per se call this the big one. It could have been a lot worse than it did, but it's a according effect. You saw Littleton and Baker lose it. You see it in reality at Daytona, and then everybody gets on the binders. They get on the binders to check up, to miss the smoke, miss the spinning cars, and then it causes more calamity like we saw off turn 4.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like the mediocre one out there. We'll see.
That's the mediocre one right there. Yeah.
We'll see if the big one happens here in a little bit. As you see right there, you can see the ones that are still in pit lane at the moment. As Tom Quattlebaum, who I was really looking forward to announcing just for that name. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately,
sounds like my hockey announcer notes.
So unfortunately, he is going to be coming out of the pit, so having some damage, but he is going to get that 08 machine out of the pits and back onto the racing surface. But Chris Wood still your leader at the moment under caution, and we'll see how this race progresses. Again, like you said, you're watching the Race X Next Gen Challenge Series presented by Ohio and Indiana Roofing. This particular race is brought to you by King of the Minutes podcast. We'll see how this race progresses, but right now, let's hope that trend of cautions doesn't continue.
This is LSR TV, the voice of sim racing. As we're under the yellow flag, the iRacing pace truck leading the field. You have the 91 out in front of Chris Wood, Alan Pajeri in the number 2 spot. Matthew McMeekin in the number 4 machine is 3rd. John Wimbush is 4th. Dan Osborne, before the caution fell, he moved up 3 spots into 5th. Eric Blunt, 6th. Hoggart is 7th. Steve Carey, 8th. Dustin Pink, 9th. Troy Radford right now is your top 10. I think they're going to make one more lap under the pace car vehicle, the pace truck, and Barney will be ready to wave the green flag, ready to get things back going. This is a new series. It's their debut. The light bar is up on the flag stand. I think you're going to go off. They're going to go off on the pace truck as we look at the leader and 1 to go indication. We will go back to speed next time around, Cody.
We are indeed, and quick apologies to the fans out there watching. We just realized when they mentioned it to us in chat, so we definitely apologize for that. In all the confusion trying to get Brandon Kreutz back in the booth, we forgot to turn the car sounds on for these people. So that is on me, as we have that feed coming in, and we forgot to click the button. So I apologize on that end.
Well, I'll tell you what, for those, we apologize to you here So whenever they get ready to come to green, let's let them feel the thunder, virtual Daytona style here on our LSR TV. So when the pace truck comes to pit road, Cody, we'll rest our voices for at least a lap and a half, let them get up to speed, and let them feel the thunder here on this Thursday night.
That we will. It's about a half a lap away. Again, some tech issues here tonight. Unfortunate, but it does happen.
So, the pace vehicle leads them into turn number 3 on the high banks of the World Center of Racing. You've got Alan Pajari down to the lead. Chris Wood flip-flopping P1 back and forth. I want to say it's Wood, Pajari, McMeekin, Wimbush, Osmond, Hoggard, the top 5, and we will get ready to set them up for the restart. You see the back marker cars being pushed about, those that are on the tail end of the lead lap coming back to speed, joining the back of the leader cars, and we'll get ready from this camera angle to bring them back to speed. By the time this race ends, those lights, virtual style, will be illuminated. Barney waves the green flag. Let's pause our voices. And maybe not. We've got trouble again.
Thunder's gonna have to wait because we got calamity on track. That is not what these guys want to see this early in the race. We'll try to take a look and see where this all originally started. And I'm seeing Dustin Ping involved in it, so let's take a quick look at the replay.
Oh no. It already started there. Was that your leader? Oh my goodness, the leader was right amongst everything.
Let's take another look, and that was Chris Wood right there. And just chaos ensues. Do we say another medium one? They're almost coming to a complete stop just to avoid this.
What a tough break. So many shots on the replay. Gotta wonder how much damage is on that 91 car. What a tough break for these drivers as we go under the yellow flag yet again here, just as fast as they came to speed. I feel bad for the fans. We were actually giving them a crank it up, a feel the thunder, and it was some of the lead cars, like the 91 had nowhere to go. And then Chris Wood, Alan Pajari, those are your top 2 cars that got caught up in this. We go under caution. Can we show it again? Let's see if we can try to show a replay again of why we are under. Now, I would say this would be your big one. This is the big one so far if you want to count it. Numerous cars involved, so many on pit road, some with damage and more. And let's take a look now. Watch your lead cars on the bottom right. There's Wood in 91. And then there's the number 5 car, Pajari. All in that pack. They make contact, fighting for position, spinning, shake, rattle, roll, up and down, every which way but loose. And then everyone else gets scatter-bombed around the corner. And we get under yellow flag yet again here. And again, that replay here on LSR TV. Great production work by not only the assistant announcer, co-announcer, but also the producer. Cody Wooten got it going on.
Yeah, I feel many chairs around here, unfortunately, sometimes, or fortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But just like the last time, Wesley, they're all coming down pit road, and they're going to get some fresh feel goods and fill her up on fuel while you're at it as well. You're going to be here long enough to do it anyway, and we'll see the new leader, the 88, is going to come down, Odell Osborne, so we'll see if he's able to make it off of pit road number 1 as he came in number 1.
88 Osborne on pit road, 25 Dave Worrell on pit road, and a whole bunch of other cars into the pits with a kaleidoscope of colors. Not wasting any time as now they bring the jacks down. Virtual style, they come roaring out of the pits, fighting for position. Who will get off first? It looks like it's going to be the number 20 car. John Hoggard, he will come out over the Berlin line into turns 1 and 2 to the blue stripe, but now join the back of the pace truck as the leader after the cycle of pit stops under our second caution. Hoggard, Miskill, then you got Baker, Blunt, Wimbush. Right now your top 5 here at Daytona.
Yeah, you definitely do. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water here. But as of right now, we are 7 laps in, working lap number 8. Less than 10 laps in, 2 cautions so far. Again, this is not the way these guys intended this race to go, I'm sure, but stuff does happen. Real quickly, I want to come up here and let's check this out. Let's check out some car logos, shall we? And see where they are. 3 Chevrolets, 1, 2, and 3.
Let's see the car logos. We're going to zoom in on car logos with Cody.
There we go. We got 3 Chevrolets, 2 Fords, then a couple of more Chevrolets. You know, we need another Ford up there. You see 3, 2,
Actually,
3.
we don't call them car logos. We call them car manufacturers, Cody, actually, to be honest.
Well, logos, they're all the same.
The lap cars that were a lap down their board. This Gil Blunt Wimbush now coming to pit road. And again, well, actually, it looks like Hoggard's coming to the pit lane and so many others, so he gives up his position. So this will now put Brian Miskell Jr. to the number 1 spot. He's in the Chevrolet, 2 Fords in 2nd and 3rd. 4th and 5th rounds out the top 5 in Chevrolets. Then you've got a Ford 6, Chevrolet all the way to the 14th position. And that is continuing to flip-flop and circulate during live timing and scoring, too. Thank you to Apex Racing TV for timing and scoring of this broadcast. Of the Next Gen, the Race X Next Gen Challenge Series. 250 miles, 100 laps. We're working lap number 10 here at Daytona, and it has been caution field. Definitely not the way we wanted to start things here, Cody.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. And like you mentioned there, while we're under caution here, to Apex Racing, the actual name of their program is SDK Gaming. You know, we stumbled across this talking to Lee Thompson, and we have been hooked ever since. You know, just right there, you know, so if anybody doesn't know, because we haven't really mentioned it, when you see those names turn green and red like that, that is indicating that they are swapping position. The red obviously is losing, green gaining. So that'll keep you informed there as well. And of course, the timing is absolutely on point here. And we'll see all kinds of things here as we'll pull it up here real fast just to see off tracks. So far, you know, you see this more in the road side of things, but you see already some of these guys that are out of this race or in the pits are the ones with our off tracks with no fast repairs. Off track usually not going to end too well for you, because that means you've been in the grass somewhere on this track.
So in a nice way, Wood is out, Pajeri is out, Cox is out, Green is out, Worrell is in the pits, and other cars coming to the pit lanes as well. They're coming to the pits again, and they're taking a gamble too. Pitting before we take the 1-to-go indication. Cars are on pit road, including your favorite name, Quattlebaum, Carey, Hyde, Radford, Baker, Medford, as they exit off of pit road. Snare, Wood, Cox, Littleton, Worrell, they're all mixed in with the cars that are actually out of the race now, all coming to pit road, making adjustments, making pit stops, and honestly taking a gamble. They're going to be those back marker cars coming to speed. Well, not back marker cars, but you know, they've got to be coming to speed because we're coming to green. The pace truck is literally in turn 3 almost, and of course this is a big track, but they're coming to the green flag. I think it was kind of crazy taking that gamble, as we just heard Quattlebaum just exit off of pit road, and you see how it's like mumbo jumbled, the pack. You've got the first 6 rows maybe side by side, and then everybody else is all single file or rushing to get the speed to join the tail.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, while we're having this, real quick, we'll go and get a view, if I can remember which one it is here, for this restart. We'll try this again. We won't crank the volumes quite as much up as we blasted it pretty good there, but see if we can grab this.
Let's get them back to speed, and then let's get them back to speed, and then once they come to full speed and maybe get a lap or 2 under the belts, we'll let them feel the thunder then, because it does take a while for them to get up to the gearboxes. Remember, no longer in the restrictor plates, but these are pack racing cars, and they're going through the tandem drafting. As the green flag comes in the air, we're back underway with the green flag flying here at the World Center of Racing. Oh, look at this battle going on. Smith, Ping battling. Miskell leads them. The pack now playing nice with one another as they exit off of turn number 2.
Yeah, they're playing nice right now. Look at the pink and the reddish tint. The sun is going down. The clouds are over. And right now, you're seeing behind shot here, looking behind to John Wimbish. As we'll see how that one plays out. Is right there. You go back to the normal view. And those front three have kind of pulled away. They got a little bit of a gap, but that is not necessarily a good thing here in Daytona.
That's right. See how they all fight for those spots off the corner. They played nice. We get a lap on the board now. Working lap 12 of 100 here at the World Center of Racing. Fans, sit down. We can't call the race virtual style. And they're enjoying it. It's pack racing at its finest. They're coming off the corner to the back straightaway. Tandem drafting, one behind the other. That's your lead pack of Biscoe, Wimbush, Osborne, Leveren right there with one another. And they're starting to pack up behind them. There are two to the back straightaway. Zigging, zagging, slicing, dicing, fourth on back. It is a hornet's nest as they roar to speed to 3.
Yeah, they got some taken to the high side of the track, not quite 3 wide, but they're still going to try to make it work as that battle for the lead may heat up here just a minute. Not quite there, but look what's just in front of these. We got a lap car coming into the picture. That's going to shake things up as they try to get around. I'm not quite sure that is. That is the 47 machine of Ray Radford that they're going to have to try to maneuver around, and he goes right through the middle.
Trying to get Radford to move out of the way. Barney moving quickly. That blue flag with the yellow stripe telling that slow car, hold your line, Radford. They're coming at you hot and heavy. He'll now go 2 laps down. 22 cars of 31 starters on the lead lap, but a great battle heating up with Miskel, Leveren, and company. Wimbush is there as they roar back into turn 3.
Yeah, you can see up close with these things. You know, this is the reason why the back of these cars have that clear part to the back, so you can see through it. Otherwise, you could not see who is behind you. It makes it very dangerous. So they had to add that in there so to help these drivers out just a little bit when you're drafting here at Daytona.
Back straight away, they move into turn 1 now. Making their way to the high banks. They're heading there. Notice that you can't go below that yellow line. You go behind the below the yellow line in the virtual world, just like real life, and you advance your position, you will suffer a penalty, or you have to back off and give up your spot. If you don't give up your spot, then you suffer a penalty then as they go to the corner. It's the leader, Miskel, out in front. He has got all cars behind him at bay with Leveren, Wimbush, Osborne, Blunt, and finally looks like they're up to speed. They're playing nice for the time being as they come to the line. Now let's let them feel the thunder here as we get ready to bring them to speed at Daytona. It's the debut of the RaceX Next Gen Challenge Series. Here they come here on the banks of Daytona off turn 2.
All right, a little bit just to let the cars do the talking, as they really are the show, Wesley.
They are, for sure. We're just the voices to paint the picture of what's going on, but they are virtual in reality. They're the stars. They're the workers. And look, I was just watching a moment ago when we had our full Feel the Thunder from the high banks of Daytona, watching the airplanes come in, watching that big airplane. Maybe that was Air Force One, virtual Donald Trump coming in to land at the airport. That's really cool. The graphics, like I said, are so phenomenal. It's amazing. We got a battle for the lead. Three cars, Miskell, Osmond, Leverett, right there with one another, stuck to the inside. Miskell is there. He'll open up the door to the outside lane. Wimbush, Leverett licking their chops at the strike. New leader as they cross the line. We'll see if it changes. It looks like Osmond and Wimbush will still fight for the lead. He's under attack back to turn one.
Yeah, this battle is definitely heating up right now. We'll see. Of course, it's Daytona. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. You've seen it, I've seen it. Anybody that's ever watched a Daytona race, you can be leading now and be in 30th, in one lap. That is how quickly you can be shuffled to the back. So you really want to work with someone. Wesley, if you're running in here, which one do you want to be? We know there's two distinct ways to guard this front. Do you want to have a buddy on the outside running both lanes, or do you want to be 1 and 2 on the inside?
That's a very interesting question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's still, honestly, whoa, here we go. One car zigged and zagged. I thought he went and shot in the pit road entrance. There he is. He's okay. They do not put on the caution lights yet. Barney, hold off on that yellow flag. Do not wave that yellow flag. We will still gray green. That was close.
That was very close.
It could have been worse than what it turned out to be. But to answer your question is we're still under green flag here. And I don't know if you're trying to find the replay of where his car zigged and shot down the track, but what a move as Wimbush is in the lead at Cheerwine 55. By the way, I love Cheerwine. I'm a Carolina boy. I don't know per se if it's too early now to start making your plans of pulling from the pack or using up your equipment. I think everybody needs to play nice and get in a line and just work through the pack. It's too early to try to start laying your cards out to decide who's going to win this thing right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's just a little bit too early to really try and press the issue, whatever you want to call it, putting the stamp on the envelope and sending it. It's way too early for that. We currently have 3 drivers out. 2 of those are race control. One 14 laps down, one 13 laps down, but he's out of the pits. That is Cox that is coming out of the pits right now, so he'll rejoin the field. That is Damien Cox coming out. Looks like we have Terry in the pits as well as Cody Terry. That is, of course, the one that just went off track. So he'll be coming back to join us here quickly. But the battle right now really is up front. They've kind of formed it up a little bit here, Wesley. They're now 2 wide, and they're continuing it. They're not really scattered like they were earlier.
Right, yeah, and for the time being, as they push up the top of the racetrack in that Cheerwine Maroon 55 Wimbush lap car down to the bottom of the speedway, and that number 57 machine going a lap down of Damon Cox. The field packs off turn number 4, bunched up now 2 by 2 by 2. At least the top 3 now fan out single file. They're still in a door-to-door high-speed rush hour battle off turn 4 here at Daytona.
Yeah, it's typical Daytona side-by-side racing. Again, we really haven't seen Wesley. It's that 3 wide that I expect to see in the later stages of this race. Again, we are roughly about a quarter of the way done with this race. This is the longest green flag stint we've seen. You got to pull it up here because you got to wonder as we'll look at their pit stops here. We'll look at we'll pull it up as we can find it. There we go, pit stops. As you see right here, the difference on the scoring tower. 1 stop for the front 2 stops, 3 stops. These guys have already been down 4 times on pit road.
Yeah, and it's kind of unusual. I really find it abnormal that they came to the pit so quickly. But anyhow, nonetheless, with now 4 stops, 3 stops, as you're saying. I love this scenario here as we look at the gap. The interval is Wimbush and Kevrin. They're 1 and 2. Osmond, Miskell, Blunt, the top 5 to the back straightaway. They still say single file for the first 3 positions. Meanwhile, they are still going high, going low, picking to the outside, picking to the bottom. The lights illuminate around Daytona. We're getting closer to racing under the lights here for 100 laps in this opening event on LSR TV.
It's an awesome and beautiful sight to see when those lights first come on. Whether you're at any sporting event, whether it be racing, football, basketball, whatever. I guess it would be basketball, but any sport, when those lights come on and you have the lights with the sun setting. It is just an amazing sight. You can see the kind of pinkish there behind us as the sun is setting. And these guys will have a new challenge to face here momentarily, and that will be darkness on the track. Even with the lights, Wesley, is you can test to, no matter where it is on any race service, there will be spots where it's a little bit darker than everywhere else.
Yes, sir, for sure. And of course, the same thing in the daytime when you have the the sun spots, and then you have the shadow spots, like you see them going in the shadows right now. We're seeing that transition going on as they're right now fighting those cars, battling in the darkness, and then they start getting back into the daylight view as the sun still begins to set on the west end of the speedway. That's between the backstretch and turn number 3. As you see them hit the high banks off of turn number 2, here they come. They're slicing, dicing, more lap traffic in front of them here. Wimbish better pick a line. He better stay there. One wrong slip, and Osmond might look for the lead. He's got some wing help as they go to the outside in turn 3 with a lap car there. Pitch to the outside, lap traffic in the way. They play nice as they exit off the corner, and what a great defensive drive there by Wimbish. John Wimbish in the 56 machine. That could have been really, really tackling the battle, and he held them off at bay as they come to the line.
Yeah, that was Brian Snare that they went by in the 43 machine as they kind of pinched him up to the high side, but he keeps it going here. We stay green. Look at the view there as you got some really good shots from everybody coming behind them.
Red devil on the side of the panel, or the right panel of the car. Got that little red devil there, Cheerwine, which I'm a fan of Cheerwine. I love Cheerwine.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can see it over there. I know the fans can probably see it. Look at the exhaust coming off this. That you can see the actual fumes and the heat coming off that exhaust pipe.
It is so amazing the work that they have done with iRacing and simulations of today to just make things look so similar to the yellow lug nuts being on the Goodyear tires, to the Goodyear logo on the black tires as well, and just watching the way these cars pound the pavement here as they move through more lap traffic, and the racing is getting so intense. You're watching that 21 car zig and zag. The 8 car also trying to make a move on that machine as they hit the back straightaway. And for the most part now, Cody Wooten, they have played nice, and they have started to knock off some laps here. We're on lap number 27 of 100.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how much longer that nice will last. You know, you have teammates out there, you have friends out there, but when it comes to the white flag, you know, and here at Daytona, really, I say within 10 to go, all bets are off. You don't have any friends, you have competitors, and right now, these guys, you know, they're friendly. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Right now. Later on, with 10 to go, it's going to be, who are you? Get out of my way. I want this win.
Yeah, what really is so disappointing is I'm going to have to bounce out of here in less than 15, 20 minutes as we got big trouble. Big wreck on the back straightaway. The 6 car flipping violently, now upside down on his lid, down the pavement, down the apron. That's the number 6 of Eric Blunt. More cars scattering and zigging in the grass with Dale Osborne and more. And we go under the caution flag 3 here at Daytona. Yet again, Osmond gets into the 21, 88 goes spinning, and oh wow, what a tough break there. Because Osmond had a really good run going for him, Cody.
He did indeed.
Eric Blunt is who I was talking about.
Yeah, we'll go back and take one more look at this. This is a little bit before it happened.
He was in third. The Valvoline colors of the Mark Martin days, number 3, or the number 6, and you can see him just getting up and over. And I don't know, did somebody tap him?
Yeah,
Can we show one more angle of that? I'm wondering if he just lost it and hit the wall.
I believe he did get tagged here. Let's see if we can't go.
Give him a little bump there. We're looking here.
Yeah, right there, the 21.
21, Steve Carey into the 6 of Eric Blunt. And that is the cause of the yellow flag. Yet again, you see him virtually on a shower of sparks down the apron of the back straightaway here on the super stretch. And we go under yellow.
Yeah, it's a little it's not really scary because these guys obviously you know, other than maybe spraining the wrist, really can't get hurt too bad. But
Right.
you recall back to before all of this pandemic started here, we saw
Daytona.
that same kind of thing, upside down, sparks flying. Obviously, but prior to that, it was a little rougher. Ryan Newman, of course, okay from that. And you know, you get to thinking there, if you're gonna have a violent crash like that, what better time to really have it? I mean, you don't want to have it, period. But if you're gonna have it, at least he really hasn't got to miss much racing this year.
Tom Quattlebaum has stayed behind the pace truck, so he will stay on the lead lap now. He's your new leader, your favorite name, Quattlebaum. Everyone else is on pit road, including Wimbush, McMeekin, Osmond, Hoggard, Carey, Smith, Hyde, Baker, Leverin, Miskell, and they all begin to now make pit exit as well as you're watching on the left monitor of your screen. 30 of 100 laps, 70 to go, and this race has been so delayed, prolonged than what we were expecting, Cody, because it's been a caution flag fiesta, and we've tore some stuff up, and it's been a delay. You got to realize you're going to knock off more laps quicker on a track under a mile or half mile like Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond, or more. Whenever you go to a big 2.5 mile track, even if you know you try to have a wreck, it takes 3 laps or more under caution, cycling pit stops, and you lose all that time. And that's what really hurts me, bud, because we were hoping that this LSR TV broadcast would be done by 10 o'clock, because I have another broadcast obligation with 51 Esports, and I know we work in collaboration with both networks together. And I have another commitment at 10 o'clock, and it sucks that I'm going to have to bounce out of this race before it ends.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be it'll be interesting covering it by myself. I've done it before, so if it happens, it happens. But what do we got? Right about an hour before you have to bounce. Of course, Speed 51. Like I said, we've done some great work with them as the Quattlebaum going to come down at pit road now. But some great guys over there, Patrick Hahey and the guys. You know, we've done some a lot of collaboration here lately, whether it be with Speed 51, the Lucas Oil late model, a lot of stuff that we've got to cover, and absolutely a blast.
It has been surely a fun time, and I know that we started working with each other last Saturday for a Speed 51 Esports tandem LSR TV broadcast from Martinsville. Brendan Queen Butterbean winning that event, and Buck Bruce along beside me calling it, and then come to find out it's a small world. I mean, you know, I come to find out and I realize that I know, you know, I know Brandon and I know Joe Chris from the Short Track Super Series for what they do, and then Nick Robbins. And by the way, you know, prayers to Nick. I know he had a family emergency yesterday. I hope things are doing better. You know, I'm just enjoying this, man. I'm telling you, I was done with sim racing. I mean, you know the story. We talked about it, and that was one of the reasons why I got out of it in 2012 and said I'll never do it again, or 2013. But it is just phenomenal. So much work that has been done by the graphics people, by iRacing Simulation, by LSR TV. You know, let's be honest here. There were some crooked people back then. You bought them out. You got away from who they were. And this transition has just been in the last couple of months. And I'm happy to see that LSR TV is where it's at, because you guys have definitely earned your right names to be on the top of the esports list for iRacing broadcast. And I'm enjoying working with you, Cody, whenever I can, as we see some more pit stops coming to pit road. We're just we're having fun, and I think that this pandemic, in closing, has really allowed iRacing. I know it's not the real thing, and we will never ever say that it is, but there's so many similarities to this. This is not a video game. This is a simulation. It's just like when you go to become a licensed pilot, for instance, Cody. You go to simulations of air simulations to figure out how to adjust and figure out how to fly planes and blah, blah, blah. It's not a game. It's simulation. And I think that's the word that I love with esports being put into this thing now. And the production that's now gone behind it makes it seem so much more like the real thing, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is And just to give a quick update too, we're trying to communicate with Brandon Kreutz, who's supposed to be here in the booth in my place.
Please, Brandon, come back.
He is having some major PC issues, so we'll have to see what we can't do to help him out. Great announcer, great graphics guy. So we'll definitely have to do what we have to do to get him back in the booth, and well, quite frankly, get me out of the booth. As I'm supposed to be in the production room making this look pretty.
Right.
I can't make it sound pretty, so this is not where I'm supposed to be. But we'll definitely see how it all plays out. As right now, again, under caution, it is Wimbish that is out front in that number. There we go, number 56 machine. Followed by the 8 of Kendall Levron. So we'll see which one of them comes out on top. Again, it's going to be side-by-side racing for quite a bit of this race. I still want to know when we're going to see that 3 wide. We haven't seen it, and
No.
I hate to say this, but if we continue to see these wrecks happening, we may not have enough cars left to see a 3 wide.
And here we notice again as well, Cody, that they're taking 1 to go. And here comes another 9 or 10 cars that come to the pits, led by Quattlebaum, Osberg, Baker, Hyde, Bradford, Mefford, Wasaki, Snare, Carey, Blunt, Littleton, all exiting off of pit road and making late pit stops at the 1 to go indication. And we've seen this happen several times. I don't know if we can throw back up the pit telemetry of how many pit stops people have made now. I find it very unusual now that we've seen 7, 8 stops in 33 laps. Either their cars are wicked loose, they got them tore up and from the floor up, or their cars are not just handling well, and they're making these so many aggressive stops that they're making. And we've seen it actually where they come to pit road, where they cycle for pit stops under the caution, and then they come back and they pit again, Cody. So I mean, yeah. I cannot believe that we've seen so many pit stops like this in 33 of 100 laps. We're not even at halfway yet.
Yeah, it's we've heard several times, tore up from the floor up. If the oil pan is in the hand, you probably should park it at that point. But we'll see right there as I'm looking at this 08 of Quattlebaum and just seeing on the hood of that is one of the sponsors. That is Line Creek Brewery, and we may need some brewery when this race is over. But to shout out to the sponsors real quick here presenting this whole thing, making this possible. Hilton Designs, and of course the presenting sponsor for the series, Ohio and Indiana Roofing, and of course the Mission 22 and Line Creek Brewing as the green flag is out. Let's see, we're watching these back guys. I want to watch them for a reason, as they are really spread out compared to the front here, as they're a little spread out, but I wanted to stay with those back guys for a reason. They didn't get quite as good a jump as this front group did.
Wimbush to the lead. He's the man out in front. 56 Cheerwine colors in the number 2 spot. Brian Miskell Jr., Bing, Levron, Smith. There they are, and you see them all still staying single file. Nobody is breaking out of line as they exit off the corner. Back to turn number 3. And are we back under caution again? Do I see caution lights back out?
You are correct, and it's going to be Osborne, Quattlebaum, and Medford involved. So let's take a look here. And, I pointed out this group did not get as good as a run, and right there you see them. We'll have to look at a different angle for the sides.
Wow. Got the billboard signs in the way, and that guy got T-boned. 43. Brian Snare got snare drummed, if you want to call it that, when it came down the bottom of the apron. We're going to look at getting you a different replay here at LSR, the voice of sim racing, and let you see what took place here. A couple of cars tandem there getting together. There was a number 20 in the mix too. Of
and
Hoggard,
you see,
Osborne.
We'll take one more look at this. The car that initiated this, I believe that's a 57. Watch right here. He manages to sneak away with it. Doesn't really get any damage.
He started
right
it.
there.
Does he get penalized? That's Damon Cox.
I'm not sure, but he just smacked that outside wall. He may have had one of them Millers that's on the side of the car.
Look at the colors, man. That's back to the old Bobby Allison days when Bobby and Donnie Allison raced in 1992 for the Daytona 500. That's the beautiful Miller colors of those. Beautiful looking machine. One more shot on it. You saw that replay. And there's the car as it continues rolling on. Another caution. Another yellow flag.
Unfortunate for these guys. Again, our fourth caution, I do believe, in 35 laps. Technically, now it's going to be 35 laps completed.
I'm very disappointed, my friend, because I was really thinking that this would have been a, and again, no disrespect to any of these guys, but I figured they would have, got down to the last 20 laps, and then it would have been, the metal omelet mayhem of destructions with tearing these cars up virtual style and deciding who would be the virtual winner here. But that has not been the case. This is a new series. They have been on the whip very fast, and it shows as pit road is back to pit stop time again.
Yeah, I want to have a word with these people right here. Who in the world is blocking our camera? We're going to have a chat with these people here. As I'm not sure who it is, but yes, sit down in the front rows. We tell them all the time, and they just don't listen to us.
I get on the PA system. May I have your attention, please? For the benefit of everybody in attendance, we ask that you please remain seated so everybody can see the show.
Yes,
Thank you for your cooperation.
Especially for the short people, you gotta sit down so they can see.
We're having fun. Hope you've enjoyed that little comedy with me, bud. Man, I gotta go, brother. It's almost 10 minutes to race time for the next broadcast I gotta do for 51 Esports, and I told, well, actually, you got 2 minutes. I'm trying to bounce off out of here early. 1 minute, but no. I really wish we could have knocked this race out real quickly and not been a caution flag fiesta. But who knows? If I do this next race and it's done and you're still working, I'll pop in the booth and come say hi to you, but I don't. This might be a long one, brother. Wow.
We'll definitely troop it out. We'll see how it goes for the remainder of the race, as we're about, 15 or so laps from the halfway point.
Yes, sir, for sure, definitely. Hey, listen, I've enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me join you. I'm hoping to do a lot more things with you guys with LSR TV. You are true professionals, Brandon and yourself, Cody, and I'm just enjoying being able to do whatever I can, but I'm not able to call the real racing thing. So thanks for giving me a little time to work with you guys 2 nights in a row, and hope you can produce and bring it home. Brandon, where are you?
Yes, we definitely need Brandon, but we'll find out. Hopefully he'll get his issues sorted out here soon.
For sure. Well, buddy, thank you so much, man. God bless you. Thank you for everybody for watching LSR TV, and I'm gonna let you bring this one to the finish, at least to halfway.
Yeah.
Take care, my friend.
All right, you too. All right, getting some stuff sorted out there as we will be running solo here for the remainder of this race. We'll see how it goes. Let us know, of course, in a chat who your pick for tonight's race is. All right, so again, a little wild here tonight at Daytona, but again, not to be unexpected when you come to Daytona, is it is a wild track. No matter where you go on it, is we'll see the lights are off, so we will take the green flag this time by. Is right now, if you're tuning in, it is 8:59 Central Time. The green flag is back out. The lights and cameras are flashing as the flag waves the green flag. And right now, it is Wimbish out front, followed by Ping, Miskell Jr., Levron, and Smith going to be your top 5 drivers. But again, times changes everything here at Daytona. We'll see how it all shuffles out. I don't expect us to go caution free the remainder of this race. I do expect to see at least 1, possibly 2 more cautions, not necessarily because of the drivers, but because it is Daytona, and that's just the way it plays out here. We'll see right now as they go into the corner, and you see a couple of cars on the high side. That is going to be the 8, and not sure who's behind him here at the moment. That is Kendall Levron on the outside, trying to make that outside lane work, but just doesn't have the help he needs, as that's going to be the 99 of Dustin German behind him, as they're going to try to mount something. We've got about 6 cars on the outside, now make it 5, as that's going to be the 57 that dives back in to the inside lane. He's having no part of that. He wants to say, I'm going to be safe and keep it down on the bottom side of the track right now. And right there, you're going to see a pass as Levron and Ping trade positions at the moment. But no surprise, we've seen these guys traded back and forth, and that will be the name of the game, is swap it until you get to those final laps. You want to be out front, or at least setting yourself up to be out front in the closing laps, as we come right now 60 laps to go here at Daytona. Wimbish still out front. Levron moves into second place. German behind him, Dustin German, that is. As you can see, the gaps right there. They're trading spots quite a bit up in this front pack. You got to go a little ways back before you see that. As you see 17th place, that is Matthew McKeegan is the 17th place car. We got him going around, as well as the 25 going to be going around. I believe that is a lap car. That is Dave Worrell that is going around. No caution comes out, though. We stay green. These guys are out of harm's way. Unlike the real deal, if they are not in harm's way, caution will not come out. They stay green. I won't say clean, but they are green. Right now, it looks like we're going to go possibly single file for the most part. You do have what looks to be the 84 of Chris Medford on that outside row, as well as the 1 of Dustin Ping. Those 2 on the outside row, and might have 1 more out there with him. That is the 88 that's going to try to tag along on the outside row. But again, it just really hasn't been the line that has made any moves early on in this race. Of course, we've had a few cautions, but right now staying green. And as I say that, outside row is going to try to make something happen, but just, again, doesn't work out. It looked like your front 3 there, German, Wimbish, and Baker were going to kind of sneak out to the outside row. They thought differently of it, as it looks like we have John Hogger going to be coming into the pits now here on lap number 44 of 100. Again, let us know in the social media who your pick for tonight's race is. Do you have a favorite driver you're cheering on? Let us know in social media, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Let us know who your pick is. As right now, it's Dustin German out front, followed by John Wimbrish. Wimbrish hanging on to that second position. As we have two Fords out front, followed by a Chevrolet Ford, and then a whole host of Chevrolets. We'll go to Steve Baker. Really hadn't talked about him a whole lot. As you'll see right there from his hood cam, he's trying to run down Wimbrish and German, but he just can't do it. He tries to sneak in that little hole there. The door closes before he can make anything happen. It's unfortunate there, but he'll try to make something happen here maybe in the next couple of laps. Again, it really isn't about making passes anyway, not this early in the race, as we're not even to the halfway point yet, but you do see some lap cars coming in to the pictures there as you look out his rear view of the car, and you can see all over his back bumper. That is Kendall Levron. That's going to try to make some leverage on the outside and make the pass, but just not going to happen. He's going to tuck back in behind him as we go by one more car to put him another lap down. The lone car really on the outside is the number 8 of Levron. He's got a couple of cars there with him on the high side, but not really enough to make anything happen. It's single file here for the most part on the bottom side, as you have the 833 and the 95 up on the high side, but just again not enough to make anything happen here at the moment. Again, we got some fans out there cheering on their drivers on social media as we come to lap 49 of 100, or sorry, 48 of 100. We'll be 49 when we get to the line next time by. As you're watching the RaceX Next Gen Challenge Series. Again, this whole series brought to you by Ohio and Indiana Roofing, and this race is presented by King of the Minutes podcast. So make sure you check out them. Of course, other sponsors involved in this season are Hilton Designs, Mission 22, and Lime Creek Brewing company. So we have a couple of those on the cars here tonight. I believe it is going to be Tom Quattlebaum who actually has that on his hood. As you can see right there, barely, it says Lime Creek Brewing Company on the hood. And it looks like Corey Terry gonna go for a little bit of a spin, but again, he's out of harm's way. He's not in this main group, as he is currently in 22nd position, still 7 spots up from where he started, as he is in the pits now for 21 seconds. So unfortunate for him, he was able to drive it to the pits from his incident on track, so that's good. He didn't want to have to tow, but right now there are only 16 drivers on the lead lap, as it's going to be Dustin Ping, your last driver in the 16th position. Oh, again, we want to thank everybody for tuning here to LSR TV. Unprecedented running solo in the booth here tonight. Of course, we weren't there for a while. We did have Wesley in the booth with us, but had to leave for another broadcast. So running solo here for the last half of this 100-lap event. As out front still is German, Wimbrish, and Baker. Those three have been out front for quite some time now here in this race. Followed by Levron Medford, that's Brandon Medford. Followed by Chris Medford, Doug Wasaki, and Travis Smith, Troy Redford, and Brian Miskell Jr. going to round out your top 10 here in the feature race here at Daytona. As we pass the Sunoco sign there, glowing a bright yellow and blue, and everybody has really decided to go single file. They're not going to press the issues here. Right now, they may have learned their lesson here a little bit earlier. Race control may be talking to them, telling them to calm down just a little bit. But we'll see if that was the case when we talk to them a little bit later tonight. As of right now, if the race was to end, we would be talking to Dustin German, followed by John Wimbush and Steve Baker. Again, that is as they run here on lap 52, one of the longest since we've seen. Let's look and see when they last came down pit road. As you can see right there, lap number 31 for your leader, lap 29 for Wimbush, and lap 35 for that Baker, Steve Baker. Some of these guys a little close to that 34, 35. And then you have some down at lap 30. So these guys have had different strategies all night long coming into this race. As it's interesting to see how it all does play out in the end. Which strategy will be the winning strategy? As right now, the winning strategy belongs to Dustin German. But again, cautions do breed cautions. I don't think we're out of the woods that. I think we'll still see one. They do not have a fast repair. So if you get involved in too many or too big a caution, then your night is done. You pack it up onto the hauler and call it a day. As right now is McGeekin has Terry, Hoggard, Whirl, Wood, Pajari, Green have all called it quits here tonight. Blunt and Cox are laps down but still out on track, as well as Snare, Littleton, Carey, Radford also out on the track. And of course, that is John Hatter and Ray Radford in the 47 machine on track, but definitely not in a position to win this right now, as we got some lap cars taking it to the grass and Healy to let these leaders by. All right, when these guys come to the line, they're on the back stretch right now. As Dustin German out front, we're going to go along with John Wimbush. At the moment, we're going to take a lap on board with him and see what it's like to drive that number 56 machine. And we'll see just what it's like to be him behind the wheel of that number 56. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with a great racing story for you for the remainder half. Right about 40 laps ago, 57 in the books, working lap number 58, as it is still German out front, followed by Winbush and Baker. Your top three, rounding out the top five, is going to be Kendall Levron and Brandon Medford are your top five drivers. And here at the moment, as again, we have had a few cautions here tonight. Race Control not happy with that, as we have already talked to them. So again, Race Control not happy with the cautions, and probably told these guys, let's calm down, let's keep it going green, and that's exactly what they've done now as we're working lap 59. And as I say, the caution comes out once again. Oh, it looks like they've decided they needed at least one more. Let's go back and take a look. It's going to be Eric involved in this, so let's take a look. And Eric in the number 6 machine, and a hard lick there from the one. As we'll take one more look at that, see if we can get a different angle from it. And you see, he hits the wall and just clobbers the 6 Valvoline machine. Hard contact with the wall, and then hard contact with the 6 machine, and that will bring out our 5th caution of the night. As we go back to that, I would expect everybody to come down pit road. While they do that, we are going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back in just a moment.
Based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom t-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized, I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees at yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
All right, we are back, race fans. The lights on the base truck should go off this time. We'll see as we'll pull up your timing tower, and you can see right there how many drivers are out of this race already. Is unfortunately some of these guys had really fast cars here tonight, but just couldn't quite make it work in the end. They got it caught up in their own incidents on track, or possibly somebody else's. But in the end, it just didn't work out for some of them, and they end up packing up into the hauler just a little bit earlier than they really wanted to here tonight. We're on lap 63 of 100. We're going to lap 64 here to take the green flag. And of course, give a shout out to one of our own partners here on the channel, RaceOnTexas.com. If you're looking for some real life racing in the state of Texas, I know we got a couple of drivers here, some little bit of dirt track or asphalt racing. There's Houston Motorsports Park, and of course, dirt racing all over the state of Texas, Louisiana. And we've even done some go-kart racing in Oklahoma as well. Make sure you check out RaceOnTexas.com, $9.99 a month for all of the on-demand action, as well as some pay-per-view events here and there. Of course, those not included in the regular package, but it is a inexpensive way to watch racing all over the state of Texas. As the lights go off, see the pace truck make its way down pit road where it belongs. As let's pull up the interval here, and you can see the gap there. Everyone kind of in the orange. When you see those colors go yellow, the gaps are widening out, and when they go red, the gaps are getting shorter and smaller. And right now, again, this one's pretty much gonna be orange here, and actually I say we won't go red, just stays orange. But either way, we'll switch that back to the gap here as we are underway once again. It's still Dustin German out front, leading this race with Steve Baker behind him. John Wimbush has kind of fallen back a little bit to third spot, but he's still +1 on the race. Look at this. This is what we want to talk about, the gains here. 16 spots gained for Dustin German. Right now, 14 gain for Steve Baker. And right now, those are impressive numbers. They are not your hard charger right now. That is going to be Brandon Medford, who is currently 23 spots gained since the start of this race. He is on the move, trying to get to the front of this field as quickly as he can, possibly get the win. We'll keep an eye on him and see if he can do it a little bit later on in tonight's race. Again, we're on lap 65 of 100. Green flag is out, and we are racing at two really distinct groups. This is your front group, and then, of course, we have some single cars back here kind of scattered through the back of the field. These cars do include most of your lap cars back here. Brian Littleton, Brian Snare, and Damian Cox. These guys back here just trying to hang together as the lap cars band together here on lap number 66. As we go back to the front, single file racing has ensued prior to the last caution come out, and they are back at it once again, single filing this thing. They do not want to press issues now. They've really had a good green flag run. They want to continue that trend here until the closing laps of this race. Again, I expect to see some wild finishes in those closing laps. 0.06 seconds separating the front two right now, as it's German followed by Baker. If you just say their last names, it looks like a German Baker, but right now somebody going off of course. Not sure who that was back there. Looks like, no, it wasn't Dustin Dean, but he is going to come down pit road and that modified NASCAR machine. As you can see, the radiator, the engine, the basically the entire thing, the wheels, everything in there showing as he's going to go a lap down as we complete lap 67, start lap 68, and we will keep on trucking forward. As you see two SRTV network cars out front leading this thing. And apologize there for the camera. Apparently the cameraman needs to clean his lens. As there you see him coming into focus. An older camera pack possibly. It's not working for us here tonight. Let's go back to our main camera. But again, German out front, followed by Baker and Wimbish. Those are going to be your top three drivers as of lap 69. We're going to be coming up on 31 to go at the line when they cross it. And we still have, that is the 83 machine of Brandon Medford. He is the lone car on the outside trying to make something happen. He thinks, no, it's not going to work. He dives back in and reclaims his spot of fifth, 22 spots to the good here in the late stages of this race. Not the closing stages yet, but the late stages. At the moment, it looks like Josh is going to go off track. There's let's see what number we got back there. Is trying to pull him up real quick and don't see. It looks like unfortunately he may have retired it already. There we go. He has not. That is the 9 of the Nike Just Do It. So unfortunate, Jadashi's went off track. He came back on as he was off track for about 1.02 seconds. Not a lot of time off track, but just enough to really throw him out of the groove. And he is going to have major implications. That is, he's lost the draft. And we'll keep an eye on this front group here as they have more lap cars coming into the picture. As Steve Baker is still trying to hang on to second and gain first all at the same time. We talked about it just not too long ago, as those lap cars all by themselves out there, they're highly damaged cars as well, but out there 2-3 cars kind of sitting ducks left to their own devices on the track as these leaders do get by them. Again, it's unfortunate for those lap cars, but you see right there already the gap that they have pulled from them, as this front pack has decided it was better to go single file and not cause any issues. And that is exactly what they are doing. As of right now, the lights are fully on. It is a pitch blackout, and we are nighttime racing under the lights here at Daytona. As you're watching all of this on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. And again, a different kind of scenario here. Unfortunately, running solo. Hopefully, that is not the case later on tonight. Here on the channel, we have never run solo since we took over the channel not too long ago, but unfortunately that's the case here tonight, as Wesley had to go off to another broadcast, and Brandon Kreutz unfortunately having some PC issues here tonight that have prevented him from making the race. It's unfortunate here, and it looks like, I believe everybody is. Anyway, but we'll check in with the drivers. Let's pull their flag up on here, and there you see it. Every driver is from the United States of America, the great US of A. Again, we run a lot of road courses, and some of these guys not necessarily from the USA. But they all are here tonight. So that is good. We got a good group of guys here battling. So unlike his name, Dustin German, he is not German, and he is out front leading this race with coming up with looks like 26 laps to go is what remains in this race here at Daytona International Speedway, the new Daytona, just newly scanned. As obviously NASCAR coming here, they needed it to look as pristine and as it could be to mimic the real deal. And of course, a big shout out to iRacing for all the fans out there that are looking to potentially join iRacing. You can find more information on that at iRacing.com, and of course, don't forget to go to iRacing.com/live, and you can check out all of the live broadcast on the portal from people like ourselves here at LSR TV, RaceSpot TV, GSRC, Apex TV, and of course iRacing themselves. I did not leave any outs. If I did, SimSpeed TV, all those guys over there, some great broadcasters here on iRacing. As right now, things have really started to pick up at the front of this field. Steve Baker is trying to do something, but look at Wimbish. He is really going back and forth, trying to find a spot where he can possibly make something happen, as we now have only 13 drivers on the lead lap. And unfortunately, Tom Quattlebaum going to potentially go a lap down as well. He is currently 32 seconds off the lead pace. We'll see right there. He's going to be a mid-back stretch right now. And there's your leader. So they're to the back stretch right now. They can see him just barely ahead of him. So we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Can they get by him, or will Quattlebaum hang on to the lead lap and get a caution to kind of save him there, where he can regroup and catch this group here in the next few laps? All right, once again, we're seeing these cars go a lap down, and 3 cars versus about 12 is not going to work as they come around the lap cars. That's going to really scatter them out, though, as now they have one more car coming into the picture. That is going to be the number 1 machine. We'll see. That is going to be Dustin Ping, as they're going to get by him fairly quickly. Now, look, ever since they came by the lap cars here, it's going to be 20 to go next time by. They really start to shake it up. So we'll go back to the front there. And now, this is getting close to time to go. You really have about, I would say, 10 more laps before it's really go time. But these guys on the hunt, everybody looking to find something As we stay, Green had some shaking up in the back, but no worries. We stay racing here. As there you can see your track map on screen. As that's your front group right now. You're seeing the 99. We'll switch over to car number the 56. That is your third place driver here at the moment. You see that main group. And then, of course, you have the 08 who's falling backwards at the moment. The 1, the 21 back there, the 34, the 43, and the 57. Just now hitting the back stretch as the 47 is sitting on pit road here at the moment. So a lot of cars in this front group, and then after that, they kind of spread out throughout the racing surface. We'll see how much longer the niceness is going to play. How much longer will they play nice with each other? We'll get the word from the social media platforms out there. When do you think they're going to go on to the extreme right here, folks, ladies and gentlemen? Again, at some point they're gonna stop playing nice, and we're gonna see that next caution come out. But right now, they've had a nice green flag run here on LSR TV for your home for sim racing. And while we watch this battle, of course, we want to thank the partners that make it all possible. Those do include Hilton Designs, Ohio and IndyCar Roofing, Indiana Roofing. We got IndyCar Racing on the brain, Mission 22, and Lime Creek Brewing Company. These guys are doing a fantastic job supporting this series. And of course, this race itself is presented by King of the Minutes podcast. And we got them coming down pit road. This is our first green flag stop of the race. And so far, so good for everyone on pit road. And looks like it's going to be good for everyone involved. We'll see if anybody slides through their stalls. And, contact between the 56 and the 88. That is not what these guys intended to do, as they are going to make contact on pit road. No, that is unfortunate, but there you see it. Drivers coming out of pit road right as the 6. And his little posse there coming around to try to pass him back. That is not going to get him a lap back, though, because your top drivers, now they decide to come down pit road. And it's going to be everybody else at the front of the field. Miskell Jr., Leveron, Smith are going to be coming down, as well as Larson Jr. Going to be coming down at pit road. So good news for these guys is they didn't seem to make any mistakes on pit road. And not sure what the 95 did. And the caution is out. Let's go back. It looks like it's going to be for Troy Radford here. As we'll take a quick look. Right there you see he goes off into the grass, and right there he comes back onto the racing surface. And just clobbers another car. That will bring out the caution. And we'll see. I believe we did see one come through there. You see the 95 machine as he drives through the pits. This is really going to shake things up now, as we do have Brandon Medford coming down pit road, as well as Troy Medford coming down, Troy Radford coming down pit road. But Brian Miskell Jr., your race leader here at the moment, as green flag pit stops were underway and just wrapping up, as the caution comes out for, I believe, the 6th time here tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here to LSR TV. Very unprecedented broadcast here tonight, alone in the booth, running everything from the control panel to the announcing, as Brandon Kreutz having some issues, couldn't make it here tonight for his PC issues, and of course, Wesley having to jump off to another broadcast as he booked himself for that one as well. So we will step to a quick commercial break. When we come back, let's start being live on the mic again. Those lights will be out on the pace truck, and we will go racing once again.
They say everything is bigger. These guys down in Texas aren't messing around. This feature race will separate the boys from the men, the girls from the ladies. Can you handle racing 300 laps for $25,000? It's not as easy as you think. We don't stop to tow those too weak. We just push them out of the way. We don't run 20 laps. We run 300 each night. We don't care about what you and your boys have under the hood. Bring all you got. Don't be scared. Call my Cowboy Jack today to get signed up. It all goes down on October 2nd and 3rd in Mesquite, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Kenny Wallace is coming back this year to try again. You don't have excuses. Go to LoneStar600.com now.
All right, the lights are off on the pace car, which means but one thing. We will go racing next time by to start lap 89 of 100, as we'll have about 11 to 12 laps to go when we take the green. The final laps are ticking away. We talked about go time. You got to put it into a new area code, new speed zone, whatever you want to call it. This is the time to put everything you have on the line and make it count. As again, you're coming up almost 10 to go. If you've got anything left in the tanks on the reserve, this is the time to use it. There it is, green flag back in the air, and we are racing once again here at Daytona. As right now it is Baker out front, followed by Gordon Larson, Dustin German, Kendall Levon, and Chris Medford making his way 19 spots up. Right now, the man on the move, that is Gordon Larson Jr. in the number 01 machine. He is 22 spots up from his starting position. There we go, that's Mike Issues. He has had one heck of a run in that 01 machine. And as I say that, he's going to get shuffled back a little bit. He's going to drop to fourth now, 19 spots up on the race as Dustin German back to the front. He has pretty much had the dominating car all night in that number 99 machine. He's got the 55 of Steve Baker pushing him, followed by John Wimbish, who is just behind them. We'll see how it all plays out as we're going to be coming to 10 laps to go this time by here at Daytona. And we'll see right there up close and personal. Look how dirty these cars are. All that rubber and grime all over the sides and hoods of these cars. You can only imagine what the windshields look like here if they haven't used any tear-offs when they came down pit road. As let's take a look at that. Let's look. And there you go. There's you a shot from the rear here. That is looking off of Steve Baker to John Wimbish as he is trying to get by there in that Ford. With the Chevy holding him off, and Steve Baker with a Ford out front right now. It's Ford, Chevy, and then a bunch of Chevys after that with the lone Toyota here in the field. Going to be Ray Radford, and he is all the way in 22nd place, and he is out of this race here at the moment. So unfortunate for him being in this race a little earlier than he wanted to be. But again, time is of the essence. You've got to get going. Got to get to the front if you want to make it happen. Here at Daytona is that 55 machine of Steve Baker trying to make it happen on the bottom side. He's got the 56 pushing him, and he's got the 99 in front of him with the 01, the 95, and the 8 going to be on the outside. That is going to be Gordon Larson Jr., Travis Smith, and Kendall Levron going to be on the outside, and they're trying to leverage as much as they can out of the momentum. But again, right now it's 3 versus 4 with one undecided, and that 84 machine of Chris Medford. We'll see. Actually, maybe Medford. Medford trying to see if he can make it happen, but he's going to tag along to the bottom line. Now he's going to go to the top side as the 88 of Del Osmond's going to tag to the bottom as well. So we'll see. It really comes down to where the 84 of Chris Medford goes, and he opts to take to the high side. That's going to make it 4-on-4 drag race. As this is almost like one of the drag races you've seen where you have 4 lanes, 8 lanes. Well, this is 2 lanes, 4 deep instead of 8 lanes, 1 deep. So that is how it's going to play out. The 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. going to take the front of this race. But again, anything can and will change here in the closing laps. We're on lap 94 of 193 laps completed at the moment with 7 laps to go here at Daytona. If you have a pick, this is your time to get it out in chat. Let us know who you are rooting for tonight. As the final laps are going to be down. Make sure if you like it, you hit that thumbs up button, give it a subscribe, and you'll be notified of all upcoming events. Of course, we have one coming up right after this one at 10:40 Central Time, as we'll be moving over to that one in just under an hour. And it looks like Wesley will be back on the call with Greg Rentz for that one. Myself and finally back to the producer's booth where I belong. And Steve Baker holding on to a really good run right now. He's moved up to the high side in the number 55 machine, and they're really starting to shake things up now. This is what we figured would happen. The later we get into the race, the more things get shaken up And that's precisely what is happening right here. As laps wind down, we start to shake things up, and it could get crazy. I think we're bound to see at least one more caution. If we don't, here's we come up on 5 laps to go. Right there, 5 laps to go. That is all that remains here at Daytona International Speedway, as we have currently only 10 cars on the lead lap here at the moment. 10 cars that can battle for the lead, and we do have some lap cars coming into the picture, and it looks like they're going to... No, he gets hung out to dry, folks. That is going to be the 01 of Gordon Larson Jr. He dips to the bottom, thinks he's going to pull everyone with him, and this is where friends become not friends, and teammates become non-teammates as they leave that 01 to dry down on the bottom. He's going to have a little bit of help, possibly, but he's going to lose the lead to the 95 of Travis Smith, and Kendall Lebron going to get by him as well. And Travis Smith, though, going to be leading this race. That 95 machine, we'll see if he's going to hang on to it again. And what just happened to the 01, where those guys got the momentum on the outside, got by him. Looks like it's going to happen again, as now it's going to be Wimbish. Wow, if we get that one out. In that 56 machine, he's going to go to the high side. He's got the 99, the 55, and the 33 pushing him in as well. Though, again, chaos can happen, probably will happen, as we come up now on 3 laps to go here at Daytona. And right now that 55 gets a good shot in the shorts from the 99. He pushes him again. That's going to push him to the lead, as John Wimbish going to be your front runner here at the moment, being pushed by the 99 of Dustin German. Travis Smith on the inside row. He's dropped to 3rd now. So we'll see if he can get that, looks like number 95 Caravan machine to the front, as he's kind of, and I won't say running solo, but he doesn't have a whole lot of help pushing him from behind. They're there, they're just not pushing him. And will the 55 duck down and take the momentum away from the 95 here in the moment? We'll see. We have 2 laps to go here at Daytona, and it's going to be a tough drag race battle, ladies and gentlemen, is right now. You see him coming down the backstretch, and that 95 and the 55 have a lot of cars pushing them, but nobody wants to settle for second position. So they're going to see, we're going to possibly see that 55 make a move, sorry, 56 make a move, and work with the 99 to drop in front of the 95 as they come to take the white flag. The 95 goes around. Do we get the caution for it is the question. No, white flag's out, no caution. We stay racing on. We got more chaos happening behind them. The white flag's out, no caution. We're in this race. We go to a just drag race now, as it's the 95 or 99 out front of Dustin German, who's led the majority of this race. But now he's got the 33 coming in there of Brian Miskell Jr. as they got 2-on-2 drag race down the backstretch. This is old tandem racing at its best. The 56 going to be helping there a little bit with the 55. If you didn't clip the 00 first of Roy Hyde, who we haven't talked about pretty much all night. Here he is in the top position. And the checker flag is going to go to Dustin German as they collide at the line. There you have it for the race results. They're on your screen, as we still have some drivers that have not officially completed the race yet. Travis Smith showing in 10th position, but he was spun earlier in not second position, second position, as he'll be coming to the line to officially take the checkered flag. Just a disappointing night for him. as there he'll officially be wrestling. To everyone that has started this race and is on track has officially crossed the line, as there is your winner, Dustin German. He is going to do some celebrating for you here tonight as a well-fought victory there for him. And he's going to burn them down for you at the start-finish line. We'll step away here for just a moment. And when we come back, it'll be time for the post-race show brought to you by Clan Wars servers. All right, race fans, we are back here in the post-race show brought to you by Clan Wars servers here from Daytona International Speedway, as we have the top three drivers here in the booth with us, and we of course will be talking to them. As we always start with third place, Brian Miskell Jr., or Dirt as he's known here in TeamSpeak. Brian, you come in a third place finish here tonight, and on top of all of that, solid finish and 15 spots from where you started for the season opener here at Daytona. A few cautions, but overall some really good green flag racing. How's it feel to come home third place here in the opener?
Feels great, man. Had a lot of fun. A lot of guys that I know in this league. Had a lot of fun. I got lucky several times. You could take those 3 horseshoes out, throw them out the window, because I used them up tonight.
Like going forward, a little bit of luck can never hurt anybody. Hopefully, they're like a little boomerang and they'll come back to you for the next race if you need them. But coming into Daytona, it is a different kind of track compared to just about anywhere else. You got to be good, but you got to be lucky too. Coming into Daytona, do you prepare differently than you would any other track?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's strategy. A lot of guys don't think of it like that, but you got to be at the end of it to win it. And some guys think of it like that, and some guys don't. So I kept my nose clean as best as I could, and got lucky with a 3rd place there.
You got the 3rd place. A great start to the season here tonight. Anyone on the car you need to thank for making it happen?
Yeah, I just thank my wife for letting me come down here and do this every night.
Now, there you have it, your 3rd place finisher, the number 33 of Brian. And we move on to 2nd place. That's going to be the 55 of Steve Baker. Steve, you come home in 2nd. Also, 14 spots gained from where you started here tonight. So, if I'm recalling there, that would put you as one of them that did not qualify. Was there a strategy to not qualifying, just to start in the back and see what happens in front?
Yeah, I had made a few changes to the car right before. So I wanted to feel it out. Ended up having a little trouble early in the race with it being too loose, but usually just hang out in the back, ride around, try to fill out the car, make some changes, and then see what we got for the end.
Well, you did it tonight. You come away with the 2nd. Typically we would ask you, what do you think you needed to catch 1st place? That really not being the case here tonight. You're right there with him with a gap of 0.05 was the difference. So if you had maybe one more car pushing you, do you think it might have ended differently?
No, I was pretty committed to Dustin there, being my teammate. So I told him, if I didn't have a gap or there was a 2nd row on the outside, I was going to push him to the end. So I worked out and got a 1-2 finish for the team. Came home 1-2 and it was good.
There you go, bringing one home into the team for the season opener. Anyone on that car you need to shout out for making it as fast as it was here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Troy Radford, Falcon Motorsports. I did some collaboration with them tonight on getting the car set up, and it was a rocket ship. So shout out to all those guys in that group, and shout out to Dustin for helping SRTV Network and Smoke Show Racing.
Now, there you have it, your 2nd place finisher, the 55 of Steve Baker. And, of course, that's going to lead us to your race winner here, the 99 of Dustin German. Dustin, you got the win here tonight, and as we just learned, you get the 1-2 finish here at Daytona. Is it, obviously it's going to be just ecstatic to get the win, but to get the win and 2nd place here at Daytona, how much more better does that make the win, knowing that you got the 1-2 with your teammate?
Man, it's just a group effort, especially with me and Steve, and like he was talking about Falcon Motorsports. And I want to give a shout out to one of my other buddies in there, John T. Wimby. She's not a part of our team, but he was a team player tonight, and I hate to leave him hung out there, but I had to do what I had to do. But we all ran good, and man, this car is fast.
Well, it was, and fast indeed, and a fairly dominating performance for here. You led quite a bit of this race. You were up front when you weren't in the lead, and you just put on a heck of a show for the fans out here tonight. A few more cautions than probably anybody wanted to see, but in the end, we had some really good green flag racing. You bring it home in victory lane. You get that so-called virtual chicken dinner. So anyone you need to thank, and for making the car fast, and anyone on the car you just need to thank.
Yeah, I want to thank, like Steve said, Troy Radford and Falcon Motorsports. They gave us technical advice and some strategic advice a little bit tonight. And thank my sponsor, SRTV Network, my team, SSR Smoke Show Racing, I got a sponsor on the quarter panel there, American Foundation for the Blind, trying to bring awareness to those guys also, and LSR TV and you, Cody, man, for bringing it to us.
Well, definitely was glad to be here. And that being said, we are going to wrap things up here for tonight. We have another race to get to here in just about 35 minutes. We'll be going live with that one. So on behalf of myself, Wesley, who couldn't finish out the race, he will be back here for the next one coming up. And of course, Brandon Kreutz, that was supposed to be here, Tyler, and everyone here at the Race X Next Gen Challenge Series, and all the sponsors involved. We hope you have a great rest of your night. We'll see you here in 35 minutes for the Northwest Truck Series in, again, just about 35 minutes.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.